Hey everybody, what do? Bring you guys another video, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to pressure. Now some of you guys probably had matches where you try to go for combos and you just can't land them. Like you go in training mode, you practice all Peach daily combos that you see on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, tournaments, all that. Practice day and night, ain't sleep. But when you fight people, you can't land a single freaking combo. Like you just mad. You just fed up. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I practice combos all the time. All the time. Practice freaking combos. But yet in the match, I can't do it. I can't land a single one. I don't understand why. Like it's pissing me off. Like, fuck. Okay. Alright. Reason for that because you're probably forcing. Alright? Probably forcing the freaking combos. Like any opportunity that you see, whether you had the advantage or not, you could be in a bad situation. You should try to go for a combo. Your opponent gets away from you, or you get counterattacked. All right. So most likely you're forcing it. You go for something, and you just hope that whatever gods is out there sitting on your shoulders right now, for you to get that hit. All right. So I'm going to show you how to pressure. So that way, not only will you keep the pace of a match in your favor more consistently, but you'll be safe and you'll find opportunities to land combos in a safe and effective manner. Alright. So without further ado, let's get on to the topic of today's video. Excuse me. I don't know if I burped. Well, I did burp, but hopefully you guys didn't hear that. I burped like a baby. Anyway, every character in this game has moves that are safe on shield. Right? When you do it on shield, the opponent tries to counterattack, they can most likely block. You can block, move out the way, sidestep, whatever. In certain cases, they could probably toss another attack to punish to punish, right? Depending on what it is, spacing and positioning, all that stuff. So we're gonna look at the moves with Peach and Daisy. Daisy's here, so Daisy in this case, that you use on shield for pressure, all right? And then I'm gonna give you a sequence of attacks, how to link them together to effectively pressure your opponent, frame trap them, so you can get combos started. Alright. So the first move is the Nair. Okay? This move right here, I love this move. It's my favorite move. It can be a bit tricky to land because of the range. Alright, the range is like, look, you get the late hitbox, and I'm right here. To get the early hitbox, I have to be like this close. Right. Now this move can be a bit tricky to space because of the range, but if you want to practice spacing this move, you can just go to training mode, set the CPU to like a level 4 or 5 or something, and then just practice like try to go in with the Nair and space it, or try to space with the late hit. Okay, since the late hit has the most range, then afterwards you land. Right. So practice that. And this move is difficult to punish. Unless somebody has a move that is a 2-frame hitbox out of shield, which I don't think anyone in this game has. Like there isn't an up B that is 2 frames or less. I don't think anyone has that. Like they have up Bs where I think on the first or second frame they can't be touched. Like they're invincible and tangible, but in terms of a hitbox, so this, the Nair is safe on shield. It's -2. -2 basically means the opponent can move 2 frames before you, but out of shield, there really isn't an option out of shield that somebody can do that has a hitbox of 2 frames. Okay, if they try to do something that requires them to drop their shield, like a grounded attack, unless it's a up smash out of shield. Whatever that attack is, you're just gonna add 11 more frames to it because of a shield drop, right? So overall, you're safe. And also, just to mention, if you want to learn how to punish moves on shield, if you're curious about a move, if you fight somebody and they do an attack on shield, and you're not sure how to punish it, whether it's safe or not, I made a video on how to practice that on your own in training mode, right, by yourself. So if you're interested in that, want to step up your punish game, the video is in the link description below. You can check that out. So, yes, the Nair. that is the Nair is really good on shield. It's safe on shield, alright? Even though it's -2 on shield, just know that even though it's -2, there really isn't anything out of shield that somebody can do. So by the time a hitbox comes out, you'll be able to block or move, alright? They won't be able to punish you within 2 frames. The next attack, down tilt, a second frame move, alright? Love this right here too. So down tilt on shield, even though Wii Fit Trainer is not shielding, if she starts to shield, the shield will actually connect with the down tilt. Alright, so I don't gotta be that close to that. But this move is good because the range and the recovery time. See, cover. So if you do this on shield and it doesn't hit your opponent, you'll be able to block or move out the way. Alright? You're pretty much good. And then if you do hit the opponent, you get a combo out of that. Alright, so that's second move. The third one is the bear. If you space the bear properly and you do it while moving away on shield, it's really difficult to punish. A lot of things won't be able to punish you, okay? Now if you do it a bit too close, like while moving in or something, there are certain characters that can punish you for that because it's not the lag, the landing lag. It's not your best friend. I don't know how much it is, but just know. Excuse me. But just know that if you don't space that move, you're gonna get your ass kicked, literally, or you're gonna get your ass cut or punched, whichever one, depending on the character. All right. So yeah, there. That's the third one. And the fourth one is this. The dare, okay? The dare, if you instantly short hop to a dare, you float out of it. Okay? So if you do it like this on shield, you can nair. Alright? So you get a short hop. Oops, still holding down. A short hop there. Right. So that's good for pressure too. Now if you land with the dare at the right time, you can auto cancel it and you can go for pressure, okay? So like if you was to do a short hop on shield, pull back and you end up right here around this range, you can get like a probably pressure to down, right? You can also cross up with it too, like go behind them, and then at this range you can do a turnaround down. So after that. Well, speaking of those sequences, now to the next part. Sequence of attacks, right? Attacks you can link together to keep the pressure. Now, if you land a nair on shield and you space it, you get that spacing because you practice. Even though you tried it and you messed up, to get something right, you have to get it wrong first. Remember that. But you're nair spacing on point because you did all that practice, trial and error. We out here. Spacing nair on shield, you can do this. Okay? That's the next thing. Space nair to down tilt, that's good. Now the down tilt hits, again you get a combo. If it doesn't hit, well fuck. You're still safe. You can block, you can move out the way. Do whatever. Whatever you think is best in that situation. Right, so that is safe pressure. Space that to this. Okay? There, space in there to that. Right? Now, if you go in with a down tilt, right? Like you do a running down tilt. One thing that you can do is if you think your opponent's going to try to do a grounded option, depending on character, you can do this to this. Okay? Now when you do the dare, and you show hop there, you can land behind them on shield. Now if you land behind them on shield, this is good too. They try to do anything. They block, okay, you're safe. You went through that. If they don't block, you get a combo, alright? Yeah, you get a combo. You start a combo and whatnot. So that's the second one you can do. Well, for Turnip, it's pretty good too, depending on percent. Go with Turnip. Let's say I toss a Turnip at the shield, right? At the shield. Turnip actually extend your pressure more, because usually for pressure, linking two attacks is best. Right? You go any more than two, you're kind of overextending, and you go for a down tilt, and then so if I did this to down tilt, and then I try to go for another one, so like this. It's most likely not recommended, because the opponent like moves out the way or jumps, then you could be left open. You could be exposed depending on character and what their options are. So you gotta be careful with that. So it's usually at best link to attacks. Link to attack, if you're able to move. If not, you think your opponent gonna do something, depending on the attack, you can probably block it and counter attack them, or just get the hell out of there. Alright? With a Turnip though, you can link 3. Now what I mean by 3 is, if you space a Nair, you can go Nair, toss a Turnip on shield. I'm gonna toss it down, but for the sake of the example, let's say I toss that at a shield. Nair, this, boom. Okay? It's pretty good. You do it right, it's kind of hard to deal with. Alright? So you got that. If you hit the shield with a Turnip at a certain range, shield, boom. Okay? That is good. That's pretty good right there. So this is something you can do if your opponent tries to attack you within the first or second sequence of attacks. If they try to attack you within the second sequence, the Turnip is usually what you do, because the third sequence is probably most likely gonna get them. Alright, depending on what they're doing. So you got that. With Turnips, your first sequence you can link 3. Foul the Turnip is usually best to link 2. If you try to go for more, you're probably overextending. But you can overextend if you notice your opponent is shielding a lot. Alright? If they're just like sitting there, then you could probably overextend a bit more, which you can go this to this, and then I don't know, to catch a sidestep or something, you can go this to another Nair. So this, right? So you can do that, but be careful, because even though if you space this move, you're safe. If you try to overextend, which do another attack, you could get punished. Like if you do this to like a ground float Nair, the opponent can actually, like, depending on whether they can grab you or they can jump out of shield and punish you for that as you're trying to approach them. So you just gotta be careful with that one right there. Alright? And I think that's basically it. So far 14 minutes in this video. But yeah, it's just basically, if you have the opportunity and your opponent is shielding and you're not sure what they're gonna do, you do these sequences. You can do this to this if you think your opponent's gonna sidestep. If you try to pressure your opponent and within the pressure you notice your opponent's sidestepping, throw this out every now and then. That'll catch you. Now, if you think after the first sequence, your first attack, and they're gonna try to like roll behind you, then, oops, not that. This to this is good. Okay, so they try to roll behind you. Some people tend to do this to try to catch a roll, which is fine. but at times you might roll through your opponent. But if you time it right, you could catch a roll with this. Right. But in certain cases, just to see if they are going to roll, because they don't, and they roll the other way, oops, you're open. Right? So you got this to this. Alright, there's that. And then within that, out of this, turn around down to. If you're close enough, turn around down to is pretty good. So alright? This is pretty good. So instead of like going for this at times, which depending is good, but like to keep the pressure on the opponent, especially if you're close and they want to try to move off the ground or something. This is pretty good. Alright, so you got that. So this is actually could be 3 sequences. So if your opponent doesn't give in to like the roll, it's good. You can also do another nair like that, or do this. So okay, to try to roll, it's another way to catch a roll. So you got this to this to catch the roll. You got this to, ooh, not that. This to this to catch a roll. Got all that, okay? Now, if the opponent wants to roll away from you, usually, I guess somewhat best option is a dash attack. That's pretty good, 6 frames. But in certain cases, you kind of want to save that because, you know, that's a kill option. So if they're not gonna die, save it. But if it's fresh, I guess you could use it for 1 punish, 2 at most, and then after that, just chill out. Refresh that move. So after a pressure string, if you think they're gonna roll, let's say the opponent rolls where Wii Fit Trainer is, right? And Wii Fit Trainer is here. So you can do this. Down tilt. Catch the roll. So this, go, down tilt. Alright? So you can do that. You can run and short hop there. Alright? Short hop there could be good to try to catch a roll, because in case you mess up and they block, this has your back. The same thing as this. This has your back too. If your opponent blocks this, depending on the positioning, you could get blown up for that. Alright, your opponent can punch you. So this is usually best, because out of a dash attack, you know, you want to keep that fresh. You're not really going to get anything out of it, but you do get stuff out of this, alright? Get stuff out of the down tilt. Excuse me. So there you go. I think that's all. But basically, just mix and match, alright? At best, if you don't have a turnip, like this is the rule of thumb. If you don't have a turnip in your hand, just go for 2 sequence of attacks. Alright? Don't overextend. Anything overextending is you're either going for a hard read, or I guess an educated guess. If you know what your opponent tends to do when you're pressing their shield, then you can toss out an option. You can overextend. But if you do, make sure it's for a good reason. Not because like, oh, I'm just feeling myself right now, I want to keep it going, and then you're just doing extra stuff not necessary, and then you leave yourself open, you give the advantage, probably get hit, and, you know, you're not having a good time, right? So without turnip, 2 sequence. With a turnip, you can go for 3. Alright. And if you started out with a turnip, I guess 2 sequences? It depends, because 2 sequence, usually with a turnip, I just like to down tilt. If you go for 3 sequences and you start your first attack with a turnip, I guess turn up to this to that. Because after, usually, yeah, you can do that, because after when you talk turn up, people expect this. Okay, they expect dash attack. So if you're at a distance where you can't get a guaranteed dash attack, because they're probably going to block, because maybe you hit them in their percentage too high, where instant dash attack is not going to connect, do that, this to that, okay? do that on shield. That's good. So with Turnip, if you start out with a Turnip, depending on percent and whether they block or not, you can go for a third sequence. Otherwise, go for 2. But if you started off with this, then you can go for 3 sequences. 1, 2, 3. Right? And that's about it. Just mix and match your stuff. If you cross up, you know, down tilt, if you cross up, bear, if you do a sequence like this with bear, again, turn around down tilt, should be pretty good. So if you bear on shield, if you space it properly, and depending on character, this is good, right? So there you go. Wow, I thought it was gonna be 14 minutes, but that should give you guys an extra 6. But there it is right there. How to pressure with the Peach and Daisy. You do that, if you get a hit, you can start your combos. If you don't get a hit, you're pretty much safe. Your opponent can't punish you. And if they try to, depending on the attack, you could probably punish them and you start the free combo. Okay, so your pressure, while being safe, even though you don't get a hit, could lead you to a combo because your opponent tries to punish you or do something. You're safe. Depending on what it is, you can start with yourself. Right? So hopefully this helped you guys out. Any questions, concerns, anything that I missed, something that you don't understand, whatever, hit me up on social media or my Discord. All that information is in the description below. With that said, thank you all for watching. Thanks to my veteran subscribers as well as my new subscribers that I got to my recent videos. All you guys are savages. Keep training and go get them. Alright, until next time. Peace off.